Enter the suffragents. Hi, I'm Laura Kumin, author of All Stirred Up, Suffrage Cookbooks, Food, and the Battle for Women's Right to Vote. The women's suffrage movement had male supporters. These days, we'd call them allies. In 1911, suffragist Vida Sutton coined the phrase suffragents to describe these men.
The first suffragette was noted abolitionist, author, and publisher Frederick Douglass. He attended the Seneca Falls Convention in 1848, often cited as the start of the organized suffrage movement in the U.S., and he was instrumental in pushing voting rights to the top of the women's rights agenda at that early meeting. Were it not for him, who knows if the suffrage cause would even have gotten off the ground. As the movement took off, men joined in. Some were powerful and accomplished. One such group of elite men formed an organization called the Men's League for Women's Suffrage, led by the editor and publisher of The Nation and New York Evening Post, Oswald Garrison Villard. They included Rabbi Stephen Wise, an eminent figure in the Reformed Jewish movement, Professor John Dewey, an influential educational reformer, and Max Eastman, a writer and activist who was also a leading supporter of the Harlem Renaissance. Those men used their prominent positions and influence to network and lobby for suffrage. They had access to other men of power, publishers of major news outlets, legislators, and public figures, and they used that access for the cause. Other men helped too, in big and small ways. Just as their mothers, sisters, and daughters carried out grassroots work, so did men. Carrie Chapman Catt, the president of the mainstream National American Women's Suffrage Association, paid them the ultimate compliment. In talking about those who helped the cause, she called them suffragists.
There are illustrious men and women in every state, and there are men and women innumerable who are not known to the public, who are openly and avowedly woman suffragists. Yet we do not possess the benefit of their names on our membership lists or the financial help of their dues.
In All Stirred Up, you'll find out more about the famous and the not-so-famous men who supported suffrage.
Then join me in celebrating the suffrage victory with stuffed celery, a recipe from the Pittsburgh Suffrage Cookbook by a famous suffragette, Call of the Wild author Jack London.